And I think we have some here, maybe. They brought them over. Lessons from the Mirror.
My Mirror.
Lessons from My Mirror. And it is very raw, very real, and a very brave story that she told. And reading the book, I have gained even more respect for this precious lady. Because sometimes it's hard to pour out your true self. And she's done that. And I'm thankful for her, and I'm thankful that she has agreed to speak to us today. And if you would please welcome Sister Paula Enloe.
You think to put it on the table and do more flat? I think she can.
I don't know how to respond to that. Thank you all so much. It's such a room full of beautiful, beautiful women. And I am just honored to be here today. Thank you so much for having me. I won't keep you long. I worked on writing a book for 2 years, and it was only 100 pages, so hopefully, if you have read it and it impacted you, I am so grateful. And hopefully something I say today will be something you can take home with you. We're here today to celebrate the gift of mothers. So many beautiful mothers here today. If your mother is here today, will you raise your hand? And that is so awesome. Will you give yourself a hand clap? Thank you for coming. Thank you so much for coming. Seems like every time that I've been asked to speak, something has happened. Like, oh my goodness, am I supposed to be here? We had a thunderstorm the other day, and I was out trying to video. Look how pretty, and lightning came. I bruised my hand trying to join back inside. Oh, swole up, oh God. They hold this microphone, big old swollen hand. And then yesterday, my daughter and I were going to Kroger's to get some things to cook for Mother's Day, and we got rear-ended. So we get out of the car, and we walk up, and the man gets out, and I'm, are you okay? Are you okay? Just hugging him. And so she says, Mom, let me handle this. Get back in the car. Sorry, let me have your driver's license. And honestly, the first time that I was asked to speak, I was having trouble with this tooth up here. And the day before, I'm talking, the day before, I'm talking, and I feel something, and my teeth fell out, and my hand. And so the next day, I had to get up and talk with my toothpaste on the side of my mouth. So, I think I'm supposed to be here today. Something happens like this, you and me, and I'm supposed to be here. So, thank you again for coming. We have Mother's Day brings so many different emotions because we have some great mothers. Some of you had some bad mothers. Some of you had some mothers that were stay-at-home moms. You had working mothers at work. Some of us have mothers who are deceased. And so you get a little mixture of emotions when you mention Mother's Day. But no matter what kind of mother you have, God brought you into this world for a purpose. And the only way that he could get you here was through a mother. He even had to use Mary, the mother of Jesus, to get him here. So you are all important. And because he had that purpose for that mother, the very first commandment that he gave us was to honor your mother and father, and that was the first commandment with a promise. He said, if you'll do this, I have a promise for you that it's going to go well for you, and you're going to have a long life on this earth. So we're commanded to honor our mother and our father. And our relationship with our mother has 4 seasons. In Texas, we only have one. You don't like what's happening today, just wait around. Tomorrow will be different. So we just never know. But the first season, as for in our relationship with our mothers, is being a child. And to honor a mother as a child, you just have to obey them. Ephesians 6:1 says, "Children, obey your parents because God has placed them in authority." One of the greatest skills you can teach your child is how to respond and relate to authority. We should teach them the difference between the person and the position. We need to teach them that even though they may be obnoxious, hard to get along with, they're your authority. They're your mother, they're your father, they're your pastor, they're the police officers, whoever they are, they're an authority. And if you don't teach them that, they're going to grow up thinking, well, who are you to tell me what to do? Then they can't keep a job, and they can't get along with others. And my father died when I was a little girl, and so I didn't really have a large authority figure in my life. And so it took me becoming an adult until I learned the power of having authority in my life. And I learned to submit to authority. And when I learned to submit to authority, my life changed. And it changed for the better. And I have not been the same since. The second season that we have is the teens. Lord help us all. As a teenager, we honor our mothers in two ways: by respecting them and listening to them. Hebrews 12:9 says, we respect our parents for training and not spoiling us. Respect doesn't mean that we don't see their weaknesses. When you're a child, you think that your parents can't do any wrong. They don't see our flaws. They're just mom and dad and we love you. As a teenager, that's all you see. They can't do anything right. They don't know what they're talking about, and they're just flawed. But respect means to accept them in spite of their flaws. They think, well, I don't have a choice. Well, neither did we. We didn't know what your DNA was going to make you. We just had you. And we just going to all work together, try to get along. If you say that when I have it all together, then I will listen to you. When they have it all together, then I'm going to listen to you. Well, that's not going to happen. We're not going to have it all together as long as we're here on this earth. We're just trying to do the best that we can. So it is said that a wise person learns from his mistakes. A wiser one learns from other mistakes. That's a lot of what my book was about, basically about my mistakes. When I wrote the book, honestly, I was sitting on the floor in the library. I was hunting something for something I was going through. I took my granddaughter Summer to the library with me one time. I thought, she's going to love this. Oh, I can't wait for her to start coming to the library with me. And I walk in, she said, what's that smell? That's a book, Summer. Doesn't that smell so good? When can we leave? Are we ready to go yet? That was not her call. She did not want to be in there with me. And so I was sitting there alone one day, and I found something in that book, and it just spoke to me. It helped me. And I held on to it that day, all day long. And so I started, every time I would get a quote like that would help me, I'd put it on my mirror, and I'd put it up there, and I'd read it every day, and I'd apply that to my life. So when I started writing the book, I said, Lord, if it helps one person years down the road, and they're just needing a word, I want to do this. Because I want to help that one person, just like that one thing helped me. So, let me get back to my notes. I had told my kids and my grandkids, you are the sum of the 5 people that you spend your time with. I try to emphasize that to teenagers. Put some good people in your life. Surround them with you. That's going to encourage you. They're not going to gossip. They're not going to try to get you to do things that's going to hurt you later on. Get those 5 people in your life. And you, not only you inspire them, but let them inspire you. Because we are affected by our environment more than we think. The third season is adulthood. As adults, we honor our mothers by appreciating their effort and their sacrifice. Melanie, can you get my little... I'm a visual person. I have to have an object lesson. First off, I'm a toddler teacher. If all y'all are sitting out there with Cheetos, I would so feel so much better. If you don't know how long ago a tree was planted, the best way to do it, my husband is a logger, and so I know all about trees, pine trees. I tell you about how many logs you get out of pine trees. But if you don't know how old that tree is, there are rings around it. And if you cut that tree down, you're going to see some rings in it. The thicker the ring is, that means that was a good year. It had got a lot of nourishment, it got some, probably a lot of good rain. But if you see the thin lines, those were the hard years. They had, maybe it was drought, there was insects, something that tree went through. But if you count the rings, then you know how old they are. Now, when you look at us, none of us are going to tell you how old we are. You got to figure that out. But if you start getting some gray in our hair, we're pretty well past our teen years. And we probably means we've been through some hard times. My husband was he rode bulls and wild horses, and so my mother-in-law has a few gray hairs. So she's already been through some rough times. But we honor our mothers because they sacrifice for us. They say to raise a child to the age of 18 because you've had to make decisions to do without some things. Nice cars, more vacation. That money had to go on clothes and education, braces. I had a few of those. And doctor visits. They say it costs an average of $249,000 to raise your children, to raise a child. I once read that one definition of a parent is someone who has photos of when they used to have money. Mom, don't share that with Lee, or I won't ever get another grandchild. The season 4 is the elderly. We honor the elderly by giving them significance and caring for them. In every other culture, getting older is honored and respected. They will respect the wisdom that person has. In the Western culture where we're at, we seem to honor the young. We honor the latest fad. We honor youth. We honor looking younger. But in the Asian culture, they almost carry their elder. They bring them in with honor and respect. In this generation, they're like, hey, while you're out, will you get me something to do? We do not give them due respect, but we should. And 1 Timothy 5:2 tells us to treat the older woman as you would treat your mother, and treat the younger women as your sisters. Even Jesus, when he was on the cross, he looked at John, he said, looked at Mary and John, said, John, behold, there's your mother. And he looked at Mary and said, behold, there is your son. It was that important. We need to respect our elderly and our mothers for all of them for us. Rick Warren, he told a story when he was in 2nd grade. He wanted to buy his mother a Mother's Day gift. And so he went to this thrift store and he saw this beautiful dress. It had sequins. It looked like one of those Geisha girl dresses, just really form-fitting and everything. He said, oh, my mama would look good in this. And so it was 50 cents. And so he takes it up to the register to pay for it. And the lady that worked at this thrift store, she knew him and his family, and she says,